Hey, what is going on, guys? I hope you all are doing well today. My name is Elliot and welcome back to The Fragrance Well. Today's episode is a Thanos snap episode. What do I mean by that? Thanos has just snapped his fingers and he says you can only wear one fragrance for the rest of your life, or you can wear nothing at all. Well, okay, let's just say that actually happened. I've got 5 fragrances here that if that were the case, I would wear those fragrances for the rest of my life. And then I got 5 where if I had to choose those fragrances, I just wouldn't wear any fragrances. And I'll give my reasons as to why. We'll probably do it like a one and one back and forth. This fragrance I'd wear, this one I'd stop wearing fragrances. So yeah, let's get into it. Just a little bit of a fun episode today. Get it started right now. Alright guys, so let's get it started, but before we do, let me just say that every fragrance on this list is a fragrance that I like. I figured it would be cheating if I chose a fragrance I wasn't really that fond of and said, oh yeah, I would just stop wearing fragrances. That's kind of low-hanging fruit. That's not very creative, I think. Alright, so let's get into it. The first one that I would definitely keep and would wear this fragrance if I could only wear one for the rest of my life is from the house of Chanel. This is Bleu De Chanel. Chanel Bleu De Chanel, this is the Parfum concentration. That is the one I would go with. I think that one is the best and most interesting. It's a wear it anywhere fragrance, so if you had to just wear one for the rest of your life, it might as well be one that works for every scenario. Has notes in it like citruses, sandalwood, cedar, really an all year scent, any occasion scent, so it's just an easy one for me, to be honest. Plus, I really love this fragrance. It's just so classy, so well done, speaks of quality, and also easy to get if I had to get another bottle. Bleu De Chanel from Chanel is a keep it if I could only wear one fragrance for the rest of my life. Alright, so the next fragrance is coming from the house of Christian Dior. This is Sauvage Eau de Parfum. And this fragrance, if I could only wear this one and nothing else for the rest of my life, I wouldn't wear fragrances anymore. Don't get me wrong, I like Sauvage, particularly the Eau de Parfum. But I just couldn't wear this every day for the rest of my life. Yeah, I would get tired of this one, I think, actually pretty quick. Matter of fact, out of the fragrances I said I just wouldn't wear anymore, to me, this one is actually the easiest, if I'm being honest. Has notes like Sichuan pepper, lavender, bergamot, ambroxan, vanilla, nutmeg, and star anise. It's spicy, there's tons of ambroxan in this. It's a nice fragrance, it'll go well. I can use it in a variety of situations. People will like the smell of it. But me personally, I would just get bored of this very quick. So if I had to wear this fragrance and couldn't wear anything else, I would just choose not to wear a fragrance. Sauvage Eau de Parfum, sorry, it just didn't make the cut. Next one's coming from the house of Nishane. This is Hacivat. Nishane's Hacivat. Easy choice for me. This is one of my favorite fragrances. Has a similarity to Aventus, but it definitely goes its own different direction. That being said, I could have put Aventus on this list. Yeah, pineapple, oak moss, citrus, bright and brisk and sharp, and living in Central Florida, perfect choice for me. Also has grapefruit, cedarwood, patchouli, jasmine, and woody notes. This fragrance just works for me. Great for my environment in terms of the climate, and also a versatile fragrance. I can wear this to work, I can wear this out, I can wear it at night if I wanted to. So this one would be an easy choice for me, and I do not get tired of smelling this scent. As I mentioned, I could put Aventus on this list, but the main reason I chose to go with Hacivat is at 100 milliliters at full retail, Hacivat's cheaper. So this one just makes more sense. And honestly, I like this more than Aventus. So it was an easy choice. From the house of Nishane, this is Hacivat. Okay, next one's coming from the house of Giorgio Armani. This is Acqua Di Gio Profumo. Yeah, I probably just pissed off some people with that one. Acqua Di Gio Profumo. Now, I'm not the biggest Acqua Di Gio fan, but I don't hate Acqua Di Gio. But out of all of them, this is the one I feel like I would like to have in my collection. But if I only could wear this, I would just stop wearing fragrances. I would get tired of it. I'm not the biggest aquatics fan. Though I love what they did with the incense and the patchouli in this, I would just get sick of it after, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Sauvage, I'd get sick of much quicker, but this one I could stomach for a little bit, but after a while, I'd be just like, I'd rather just not wear fragrances. Features aquatic notes, bergamot, spicy notes, rosemary, sage, geranium, and as I mentioned before, incense and patchouli. Works for any occasion, is a people pleaser scent. I wouldn't be mad if anybody said, no, I have to have this. If I could only wear one fragrance, I would totally wear this one. I completely get it. But for me, I would just rather not wear a fragrance if I had to be stuck with this for the rest of my life. Acqua Di Gio Profumo from Giorgio Armani. Okay, so this next one also coming from the house of Christian Dior. This is Dior Homme 2020. Dior Homme 2020, and I would keep this one. If I could only pick one fragrance for the rest of my life, this one would make the cut. I wanted to choose Dior Homme Original, to be honest, the one with the iris, but to be fair, I thought about it. I'm like, I live in Florida. It's hot most of the year, and frankly, this one would be a lot easier to wear in this environment year-round, or for the rest of my life, so to speak, than this one would. Features pink pepper, bergamot, elemi resin, atlas cedar, patchouli, vetiver, and musk. This fragrance is fresh and it's woody. Has a nice citrus pop off the top, woodiness throughout, big dose of Isoe Super to give it that cedar vibe as well as give it a little bit more longevity. It works for any occasion, it gets compliments. I mean, it's a good fragrance that if you were only gonna wear one, this one will get the job done. It works pretty much for any scenario. Dior Homme the 2020 release. Yes, I will keep this one if I could only wear one fragrance for the rest of my life. All right, and moving on. The next one's coming from the house of Prada. This is Prada L'Homme, the original EDT Prada L'Homme. Now, let me be clear. I do love this fragrance. It's one of my favorite office scents. You see I have put a pretty good little dent in it. But if I had to wear nothing but this for the rest of my life, I just wouldn't wear fragrances because I would just get bored of it. Mainly because it just does one thing very well, but I get sick of that one thing. It's just not something I would just want to have as a scent profile for the rest of my life. I know some of the ones I said I keep also do one thing very well, but I could stomach those more. This has iris, neroli, violet, amber, cedar, patchouli, and pepper as some of the notes. It's a great office scent. It's fresh, it's clean, it's soapy, a little bit powdery, has a touch of sweetness to it. But that's just a thing. I like it as an office fragrance. It's not something I would necessarily reach for that much for other occasions. So that tells me right there that as much as I like to wear it for the office, I got other stuff I like to do as well, and this is not my first choice. So Prada L'Homme is going to be one that if I had to wear just one fragrance for the rest of my life, I just wouldn't wear fragrances. Sorry, Prada L'Homme. Love you though. All right, so this next one's coming from the house of Marc-Antoine Barraud. This is Ganymede. If you've been watching any of my videos lately, you know I've been featuring the crap out of this, so you probably shouldn't be surprised that I would keep this one for the rest of my life if I could only wear one fragrance. It's just one of my new favorites, man. Features notes like saffron, mandarin, osmanthus, violet, akigalawood, and immortelle. I love the mineral qualities to it. I love the spiciness. I love the orange flavoring to it. And I love the suede-like leather accords. I think this is just one I can pull off in any situation, any temperature. So if it checks all of those boxes, then it's gonna be a fragrance that I wouldn't mind wearing if I could only wear one for the rest of my life. Ganymede is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I have no problem wearing it for the rest of my life if I could only wear one. In fact, if I had to rank the ones I would keep, this one is definitely going to be a front runner. All right, so this next one's gonna be coming from the house of Mancera. Intense, Cedrat Boise. Oh boy, I'm gonna piss off some people with this one. Yeah, Cedrat Boise would be a fragrance that I would just stop wearing fragrances if I had to only wear one for the rest of my life. The Intense or the original one. Don't get me wrong, I like this one. I've grown to like the original Cedrat Boise, but as good as they are, they just don't excite me enough to want to wear these for the rest of my life. Now, I know this has a similarity to a Ventus, therefore a similarity to a Hacivat, but they're not the same. They do their own thing. If you smell them side by side, you can definitely pick out the differences. And as good as this is, it's just not good enough to make that cut for me. Features citrus fruits, black currant, leathery notes, oud, patchouli, oak moss, ambergris, and vanilla. To be fair, the fragrance is actually perfect for the environment I live in. This is a great Florida fragrance. This one and the original one. It's good enough to wear in the office. You can wear it for a night out. I mean, it's a versatile fragrance and people will enjoy the smell of it. But more importantly, I need to enjoy the smell of it. And as much as I like it, I just don't reach for this that often. So that pretty much tells me that it's probably a fragrance that I would just get tired of wearing and ultimately just stop wearing fragrances altogether. So sorry, Mancera Intense Cedrat Boise, you just didn't quite make the cut. Alright guys, next one's coming from the house of Roja Parfums. This is Elysium Parfum Pour Homme. Roja Elysium Parfum Pour Homme. This one obviously would definitely take a big chunk out of my wallet in terms of re-upping, but yes, I would absolutely keep this one if I could only wear one fragrance for the rest of my life. It really works for the Florida environment. It's bright, it's brisk, it's clean, it's aromatic, it's woody, it's floral, all at the same time. Classy, sophisticated fragrance that definitely works with my personality and my lifestyle. Some of the featured notes are grapefruit, lemon, lavender, thyme, black currant, apple, cedarwood, juniper, ambergris, and musk. As far as I'm concerned, if blue fragrance categories had a luxury component, this would pretty much be it. It works for every occasion. It's people pleasing, easy to wear, and I really, really like it and wouldn't mind wearing this every day. So if I had to wear one fragrance for the rest of my life, I would be okay with it being Elysium Parfum. Alright guys, and this last one's coming from the house of Chanel. This is Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. This one does not make the cut. If I only had to wear this fragrance for the rest of my life, I think I would just stop wearing fragrances. To me, this is the hardest choice. The ones that I said I wouldn't wear, this one I do like enough to honestly wear it multiple days, but I think over time I would just get a little bit bored of it, you know? Smells great. It's an easy to wear fragrance. It's people pleasing. It's great for my environment. Works in warm weather, can work in other temperatures as well. But if I'm being honest, not to sound uppity, I think there's a quality deficit in this one in particular that just wouldn't cut it for me. Some of the featured notes are mandarin orange, mint, black pepper, clary sage, tonka bean, and sandalwood. Yes, it's a sporty fragrance, it's a fresh fragrance, but it also has a lot of creaminess and sweetness to it, so it gives it a little bit more of a mass appeal, makes it a little bit more usable in some other situations. But yeah, all that being said, I think I would just get tired of it after a while, so if I could only wear this fragrance, I just would stop wearing fragrances if I had to choose this one. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme just didn't quite make the cut. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. You know, just having a little bit of fun with some non-realistic hypotheticals, but you know, hey, it just makes me think like, you know, hey, is this a fragrance I would keep, or is this a fragrance I would say, no, never mind, it's not worth it. Let me know down in the comments below if you had to do something like this. What is a fragrance that you would keep, and what is one you would just axe and never wear fragrances again if you could only wear one for the rest of your life? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Don't forget to be well and smell well. I'll see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a great day.